or toll free at 888-589-6397. So Sean, is there a difference in buying a conventional home or buying a home the conventional way, or a short sale? Is there a difference in the lending process?
No, absolutely not. If you're buying a bank-owned property or a short sale, the financing is basically ideal no matter how you're buying the property.
It's the same?
It's the same.
Okay, great. Good. So, I hear that the 90-day flip rule has changed.
Yeah, FHA has a 90-day flip rule, which means that you can't transfer title within the last 90 days that you're trying to buy the property. I had a situation where we were 5 days away from closing. An individual had transferred his title into an LLC, and that killed our deal because you can't transfer title before 90 days. Okay. That also means that you can't have your offer written or you can't have your escrow opened within 90 days. However,
that's changed, hasn't
starting tomorrow, they're saying that there's a moratorium on FHA 90-day flip rule. Now, we still have yet to see, HUD and FHA have actually put this requirement in place or allowed for this, but the banks, Bank of America, Chase, Wells Fargo, they have their overlays. So we need the banks to actually open this up as well. But what we're going to see is that if you're an investor, you go in, you buy a property cash, or you get a loan on it, and you buy it, you put some money into it, you fix it up, and then you resell the property within 90 days, you can actually have an FHA buyer with this property once this opens up.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to stop both of you and say, wait a minute. We started talking about flipping, and some of our listeners may not know what flipping means.
Yeah, we kind of talked about this last week too.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you're talking about flipping property. Make sure that we all understand what flipping property is. Right. Basically buying it, turning around. Right. So you buy a property at $100,000, and you just say, I'm just going to keep it 90 days, and I'll put it back on the market, make a little bit of profit even after all of my real estate commissions, right? And there was a moratorium on them for a bit of time, right? That you couldn't, the flip rule, you had to keep the property for 90 days. 90 days, and now it's been lifted.
Yeah, typically the requirement is that you can't flip the property within 90 days. So if you find a ready, willing, qualified buyer and it's the 45th day, you work with the buyer, you work with the seller to put in like a verbal agreement, and then we wait that time, and then we can open up escrow on the 91st day.
Yeah, I just want to make sure we're all with clarification on that.
Yeah, starting today, and once the banks actually get on board, we're going to probably have a 12-month period where we can actually have investors come in, fix properties that otherwise wouldn't pass the appraisal requirements, and then we would be able to sell those properties and get financing for FHA buyers, which really opens up a wide range of buyers. And gives us a much bigger buyer pool to get those properties sold.
It's great, too, for people that do want to come in, fix up the property and sell it. Again, now they're only going to be selling it for market value, but whatever they did when they came in increased the value up so that they could sell it more, and market value for that property now is $20,000 more or whatever it is. Yeah,
definitely. And the banks are going to be looking at how much value was put in, look at appraisals, and there are all these different requirements for it, but it's a great opportunity in general to increase the buyer pool for those properties, because I don't know if you guys have seen, but some foreclosures definitely need some work, and first-time home buyers may not necessarily have that kind of cash. We were talking about this earlier about the first-time home buyer education and what it really takes for people to get their homes up and going. Right.
And we want to talk more about that. We will. I heard there's a class that they're going to be taking.
Yes, there is.
And we're going to be talking more about that a little bit later. Right now, this is Desert Real Estate Today, 94.3